Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Safe Haven podcast, where we're going to talk about all things crypto and NFTs, probably with a little bit more of an NFT focus, as that's the brave new world is NFTs right now.
The wild, wild west.
Nobody really knows what to think of them right now. It's kind of a challenge for everybody as far as...
Well, basically it's a JPEG, and now it's moving on to PNGs.
We've leveled up from JPEG
Yeah, we have
to
some
PNG.
SVGs.
We got some
We got
3D.
we got some GIFs.
We're making them in gaming software now.
Hell
It's getting really advanced. So we just want to go over some things, especially how you go about doing things with NFTs, with investing, with art, because you kind of made this your full-time thing. I mean, you've told me if you're awake, you're looking at charts, you're looking at NFTs, you're looking at what's coming out, what's new.
It's the future.
I mean, you're on top of this stuff. You're always, every day you have 10 new NFTs that you're talking about.
I have rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. Okay, that's just one that I hear
10
about.
means I went I was barely doing anything.
It's just the ones I hear about then. So yeah, just to get started in this, I think the main question that people have when they look at NFTs as a whole, when they start thinking about NFTs, it's tough when people talk about them as being more than just images, more than just JPEGs. People say, oh, it's an investment opportunity, it's art, it's all this stuff, and they try to relate it to the stock market, they try to relate it to art, but I think if you could say kind of one thing to kind of alleviate all the questions, it'd be like, what is there any positive impact on the world coming from NFTs? With crypto, we could kind of see where that was going in the DeFi space, but with NFTs, it's not as clear cut as far as what good does it do?
I think one thing for sure is that it provides for a lot of starving artists.
Okay.
Which there's a lot of, but
tons of them. I'm one of them. So yeah,
exactly. But NFTs just kind of like allows this. It's like a Kickstarter, right? You got art you've been working on for a long time, and it could be a character, it could be something, and you can just make different variations and different attributes, and you can sell it, and you can create your own fan base depending on who likes your art, and it's like a global thing. So I think a good thing is that it encourages creators and it encourages consumers to appreciate art and to appreciate the people that create it. I think there's also a sense of like big connections, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a global thing. It's not, I forget that all the time. I'm in the US here and, living my day. And then I go online in the NFT space, you just quickly realize there's like everyone here, like from everywhere.
Yeah, we're talking to people from Europe, Australia.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody from like Asia in the space. Do you know a lot of people from Asia?
Oh, yeah. They wake up about 3 a.m. That's when the Asian degen run starts.
That's rough for us, yeah. Man. So for artists, I noticed that it's good if they can get in, but there is that barrier to entry, right? There's this, like, you got to code a contract and you got to figure this out. And if you do it wrong, you get just screwed out of your money. Just absolutely,
It's true.
So is that something that's going to change, or is that going to become a heavier barrier as we get more into this? Is that going to be something where as we go along, it's going to be easier and cheaper?
Well, I think with NFTs, there's kind of a flip in what is essential. A dev can write out just literally, he can have a ERC 721A contract, from Azuki, because it's open source. So you can just copy it,
sure.
Adjust it a little bit, slap it on. And you can do that with anything, right?
Yeah.
But is it attached to an artwork that people are going to like? So I feel like the table has kind of turned where there's many devs who can write this out. It's not as hard as people think it is.
Okay.
I think it's a lot simple. It's just solidarity.
So your expectation would be that
It's harder, yeah.
the barrier to entry is going to go down, is going to be reduced.
I think,
it's gonna become
because
easier for artists to get their art out there in the NFT space.
And I think in most cases, artists will be approached about NFTs even when they don't even know about it.
It's going to become like a contract.
Because like imagine like you have a friend, right? You're in the NFT space. Your friend is not, but you know that he makes dope ass art, and you know how much money these people make. You'd be like, "Yo, bro, like you want to do some NFTs, man?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And most likely you'll have a friend or some dev that knows how to write out a contract, and really all you need is just some seed money, which is, I mean, when gas is low, hopefully you can deploy a contract for like a cheap price or, but in this space, like even, right now, $35 turned into like, I mean, currently 0.6.
Not bad.
0.6 ETH was $35. Yeah. And in US dollars, it's like $2,000.
That's crazy.
That's
nuts.
To
think about. Yeah.
And the thing is, there's plenty of degens like me that make ETH like this.
Self-admitted.
Yeah,
self-proclaimed degen.
If you got a really cool friend who makes dope art and you're a degen, you got some like ETH lying around to deploy a contract, I mean, it's going to be easy.
Right? Very cool.
And one aspect that I really like about NFTs, I think it's obviously exceptionally, there's a lot of toxic stuff too in the space. But then also I feel like when I first joined, the majority of the people, we really had this WAGMI.
For those who don't know, WAGMI is we are going to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
And though that's the energy of the space is very communal.
Yeah, and the reason being is crypto attracts certain type of people, right? Also people who kind of know some implications of our current economic situation, which is kind of fucking scary, to be honest.
For sure.
And you look at US dollars, you also look at kind of the global fiat currency. And really those are the people who are worried about this, are the ones investing in crypto. I guess the majority of the people are also, waiting for that moonshot, right? $100 into $1 million, baby, sort of attitude. But then also people are really in it to kind of get out of the regular situation of regular people. They work day in, day out, get wrecked.
Everybody gets wrecked in the day. The 40-hour week wrecks everyone.
You're trading your
Nobody's
time
surprised.
like every day, your precious time for money, and they're sick of it. They wanna do something, and crypto kind of opens that space,
So
kind
NFTs are close to crypto in that way that it can be treated as an investment. It's treated as art as well, though. There's that in addition to the kind of crypto investing mentality.
Yeah. And I'm not sure how people get into NFTs, but I know that a lot of crypto people especially are going into crypto first and then to NFTs. But then I have also met people who go into NFTs straight away, So not sure what the ratio is now, but earlier on, I'm pretty sure, you got to have ETH around or Polygon around or,
How did you get in? What was your entry point to NFTs?
It was Immortal Monks. Not sure if everyone is familiar with it, but I was really big into the Olympus DAO fork.
Oh, no. Everybody hates DAOs now.
I know.
But at the time, that was huge at the time. That was everything.
That shit was like big gains, like huge gains. Like if you look at Time Wonderland, obviously that's where everyone's paranoia and PTSD came from today, was that it was an Olympus DAO fork from the original one on Avalanche Network. And the system was just basically that you buy their coins, and when you stake it, you get more coins. It's like just dividends.
So that's crypto.
Yeah. But the APYs on them were insane. Like
astronomical.
Yeah, when
I
like
was looking at them and just astronomical.
Yeah.
If you stay in a year, you're good for life.
Like,
but that's if the value of the token stays the same, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like from where Time Wonderland started, like in November in the peak of crypto, like it was at like $9,000.
It's crazy.
You know, if you went in with 100 tokens in the beginning, like you probably made hundreds of thousands of dollars in a span of like 3 months. Like that thing had like a couple billion market cap for like a 3-month-old like ICO DAO project. You know, that's nuts.
Right.
But when the crash happens, see, like these things, they completely rely on staking. So if the market's going down and people are scared, or people made some bad shorts somewhere and get liquidated, they need some money to fix that up, right?
And it spirals both ways.
Exactly.
It spirals when it goes up, and it spirals when it goes down.
Exactly. So
that being kind of your way into the NFT space,
yeah, I
see more of as an investment side of things than the art side of things.
Oh yeah.
So there's kind of in NFTs is like I see people who are more flippers and holders, and there's a lot of animosity between these two groups, flippers and holders. Holders will call flippers paper hands.
I was a holder.
You were the past tense.
Yeah, I was a holder. I mean, we can get into it a bit deeper, but even in NFTs, there's kind of like different classification of things, right? There's things that you just know that it's just a meme, you know? Like the recent meme is Kevin. Everybody fucking knows Kevin.
Yeah.
From Pixelmon. That thing was like, what?
And Pixelmon was just awful, right? Just a rug,
it had
of some sort.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because I feel like they genuinely thought they could pull it off, but then maybe somewhere in the development stage they found out that okay, we're not as good as we thought we were, and they just delayed the reveal for the longest time. And then when they did, the revealed products did not look anything close to what they advertised. And one of the characters was Kevin, and he's kind of cute now. But when we first saw him, we were appalled. We were like, this is 3 ETH.
Oof.
This is $9,000.
For an ugly, pixelated JPEG.
Like, this is not what I paid for. You know? But here's the thing about the NFT space. I also wouldn't doubt it that if the whole Pixelmon collection goes to 0, but Kevin itself alone sits at 20 ETH.
That's crazy to think that, that's not...
It's a meme. It's a legend, you know?
Yeah, the devs didn't come out and say, here's the rarest one. Yeah. The community came out and said...
The community came out and said...
We're going to meme this specific character from this collection.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Kevin is
so that goes against every... If you have, like, the rule book of like, flipping, that goes against everything, I assume.
But the thing is like, if you have something like Bored Ape, yeah, probably hold, right? Especially with the recent things with Yuga Labs buying out Larvae Labs, Meebits, Punks, releasing their Ape coin right after that.
So
big money.
Most NFTs you would flip and not hold. If you want to if you're in it for investment reasons, most NFTs you're going to flip, yeah?
Most. And the reason being is people's attention shift really quick. And as much as the holders can shit on the flippers, it is really the community that kind of drives this... How do you say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Reason being is people are interested in one thing, and then they're not in like 2 days. Like...
Yep.
Super quick.
That's just like human nature, right?
And literally, I feel like most of the premiums on an NFT, like after you mint it, let's say, you mint it for 0.05, if it's at 0.01, double the price, it's just because everyone's hyped about it. It's new art. Art looks dope.
And that's when you make your money.
Roadmap. Yeah, and that's when you get out. Because obviously the NFT is going to be worth more when everyone likes it and when everyone wants it. So that is really the best exit. When you get in at the hype, when the hype is done, your price is going to, is going to show what it's actually worth. If it's really worth it, it'll keep going up.
Right. Yep.
But then that also depends on the community.
100%.
If the community is flooding their own bags because their NFT didn't become $1 million overnight,
and that's something you see a lot, sadly, is people like, oh, why haven't I made $100,000 this week?
Long.
It's so crazy. It's this entitlement. It's crazy amount of entitlement. It's unbelievable. But you do hold some NFTs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my question is, what are the hallmarks when, as a flipper of an NFT, that you see, the boxes that you want to see checked when you're gonna hold it rather than flip it?
Holding. So one thing that I would hold, for example, is land. Just because land opens up for a lot of other utilities that you can provide to other users. For example, like World Wide Web land. If you have an apartment or whatever land, you can create, different pixel avatars that you can provide to your project. So, and it also provides a space, like a fun space for people to join in and talk to each other instead of just like chatting on Discord, but actually doing events together in a game,
Sure.
And in that sense, like I can even see like kind of like each project becoming like a guild.
Okay,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like you become really attached to those people in that project.
Yeah, and essentially Bored Apes are just one of the biggest guilds there are,
So that one makes money, but that might not be, like for you, it might not be, the incentive to stay, to hold, might not be financial.
No, I would say, my biggest reason for holding it is if there's people in there that you like hearing what they talk about, because as you know, like if you want to be wise, you surround yourself with wise people. It's the only way really you can get wise. It's the same thing in the NFT community. Some communities are just, I just can't.
It's too,
but then also, for some reason, here's the interesting thing. It's like depending on the art, it attracts different types of people.
Intriguing.
I have also seen that.
You feel like by looking at the art, you can tell what kind of a community it's going to attract. Yeah.
Like with the really, really cute ones, like join their community. The people are like, oh, yay, wow, it's really cute. And then you join Jacked Apes and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to the gym,
They want to get something that they relate to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like how somebody chooses what character they want to play in a video game.
So it attracts similar people.
When you find a Hanzo main, you know the kind of person they're going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they've chosen.
It's super fascinating.
That is fascinating. I never thought that'd be something that you could predict. Somebody that's holding a certain NFT is a certain way, but no. Now that I think about it, I look at certain communities,
and like you look at Immortal Monks.
Yeah.
Like by far, that probably has like on average like the more of the older crowd.
For sure.
They're like family man,
young people that want to have that sense of
exactly
age. When they look at investing, they try to look at it from the perspective of an older person, right?
Exactly.
And those are the people in that community.
It's interesting, and then you go to other stuff and it's just like totally different.
So coming off of like that kind of monk community, as well as other communities, they have created an NFT 1st, and then they create a coin, a token that's associated with the NFT. And you either get free tokens or discounted tokens. Ape just did it, so now it's mainstream.
Exactly.
What's your feeling on that? Is there is that ever going to be like a viable currency if it's only associated with NFT? I personally don't want to purchase a coin if I don't own the NFT itself.
Mm-hmm.
And ape is like blowing me out of the water here with so many people that have no apes are going in and buying ape coin. Is there a realistic possibility that that can happen on with a smaller NFT, right?
Well,
It can they create a coin that people from outside of that NFT ownership are interested in?
yeah. And ape, for one reason, is that you can. I think they already came out with one where you could only mint it with ApeCoin.
Mm.
I'm not sure if it used Ethereum for gas, probably,
Okay.
but it used ApeCoin to mint it. It was like some Benji Bananas.
Okay.
It was like a app. It was like a game, and you had to mint it with ApeCoin. And I saw on Twitter some people were freaking complaining how they couldn't get their ApeCoin fast enough in their wallet to mint it. So even though, yeah, you don't have the NFT, and obviously it costs like 100 ETH. Holy shit! One day, one day.
One day you want to have an ape, or you want to have 100 ETH and not buy an
But the
ape.
thing is, like, if I even have 100 ETH, like, I don't know if I'll buy an ape.
There's a
if
better
I have-
investment.
if I have-
There's a flip you could do.
If I have 200 ETH, maybe I'll buy it.
Maybe you split it and invest in the ape and
Yeah.
invest in.
Because like the good thing about having an ape is that you can get whitelisted for literally anything for just being an ape.
Yeah.
Like you're a fucking god if you have an
Yeah.
ape.
Every server you
You're-
walk into,
you're someone
you instantly
special.
have that weight, that
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah, because celebrities, special people have apes. So if you have an ape, you're special. You're a god. Whatever you say is law, But also, like, with the ape coin, well, a lot of the advantage is for the apes, right? Because essentially, the apes themselves can come out with projects, and they're like, hey, you got to mint it with ape coin.
Yeah.
And they can have a lot of ape coin.
Yep.
So the more projects that they promote to be minted with ApeCoin, the more is their coins is gonna be worth.
So the incentive there is really simple. It's the most popular NFT in the
Yeah.
space, and therefore the coin is valuable
Yeah.
because anything else that they mint, that they force you to
Yeah.
mint, people are going to mint it out, and so
Exactly.
you'll want to mint it with the coin.
And it's from an ape, so obviously
Of
you're gonna
course.
mint it because that comes with some sort of respect.
So
right?
take it to a smaller scale. We're seeing an NFT that that doesn't have that kind of traffic or that
Mhm.
kind of notoriety.
Mhm.
What would you ever be involved in that kind of a coin? And if so, what would attract you to that type of coin?
I mean, I would say the classic example is like CyberKongs, when in November each banana was like $117, and if you had one Genesis CyberKong, that was just making 10 bananas a day.
Jeez.
Just banana token, ERC20 tokens. And
What's
like,
it- what's it
imagine
worth
you just
now?
stacked
What are the
it.
bananas worth now?
I haven't checked.
Okay.
But obviously there was a big sell-off in November. But if you bought into it and, let's say for a couple months, so what? 10 times 30, 300. Let's say you have 1,000 bananas and then you all sold it at $117 in November. It's like $100,000.
And that could be just from owning one NFT. You could collect that much and just
Yeah,
make
and
your
the thing is-
100,000 and still own the NFT.
And people who hold Genesis CyberKongs minted them.
Mm.
And in most cases, you have multiple. So if you had like 2, you made 200,000. If you had 3, you had 300,000. And they didn't do anything. They just had it in their wallet.
So what separates that, like CyberKongs worked, right? What separates that from so many projects that I've seen that have come out with a really similar system where it's like, yeah, you're going to create our token by owning the NFT, and
Well, I
they just
the founder definitely makes a big difference, right?
Okay.
The founder of CyberKongs is Alex Becker.
Oh, so that.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's kind of a well-known guy. I
So
know
isn't
him
that the
from
same thing as kind of like what makes ape work?
it. It's sort of true, but then like I also hear from a lot of people with a lot of regrets. You know, like
On cyber
one guy I
or
know,
apes?
no apes. Like I know one guy. He said he had 10 ETH in his wallet when Bored Apes were point 0.6, and he considered buying them and didn't.
Oh man.
You know, things like that.
That feels bad. But it's like, how many projects were there for that guy? You know, because he remembers apes.
Yeah.
Now that it's big, he remembers thinking about
Exactly.
buying that. But did he think about buying like 18 other NFTs that are now just worthless? You know,
Exactly.
it's like,
there's so many that because and I think that's the reason why flippers flip is because essentially I think they might understand that the space is so new and the tech is advancing so fast because a lot of money is there. A lot of money is there, and that attracts a lot of people. And it's only exponential, you know. And there's kind of like a Web3 DeFi sort of aspect to it, which also everybody loves because everybody hates the feds.
oh yeah, we
Just
want to get away
kidding.
from
We love
taxes.
you.
Oh,
We love
my
you.
gosh.
It's just for the podcast,
love
but we hate
China.
the feds.
Thank you.
Oh
Thank you,
my
China.
God.
No, but yeah, that makes sense. We're trying to get away from that. So yeah, if there was no Alex Becker involved, no major collection, because I mean, you do this with NFTs all the time, that you kind of predict that it's going to be a big deal. That's how you flip, right? Is you predict that there's going to be a hump of hype. You don't predict that it's going to become worth 100 ETH or 10 ETH even. You predict that there's going to be a hump of hype that you're going to sell on at what, like 0.01, 0.02, and you're going to mint 20, 30.
Well, this is
100.
how I see whales buy and sell. Is that like it doesn't necessarily have to be a very cheap project to get into, right?
Okay.
Like I feel like I got pretty lucky with this one. But a lot of times you can just get into a project, like if you haven't, many ETH lying around, you can get into something at 0.1 and sell them all at 0.12. But you still made 0.2 ETH, in difference.
How do you know that it's going to go up and not down? Or how do you
It's
guess?
literally all volume. You can. Well,
can't volume change in like a second? Can't it be like high volume and then all of a sudden it just cuts right off?
all the time. Yeah,
So
that
it's
happens
really
all the
risky,
time.
like really risky to like buy into something that you're planning on flipping.
It is risky, and there's like many different aspects why certain things happen, and there's also a lot of unexpected things. Like even during mint, like what if the contract gets fucked up?
Sure.
It get exploited, and whitelists were supposed to mint. I
We've
had that
seen
happen today.
so many times.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
If I had another one yesterday where whitelist didn't mint, and I was just looking on Icy Tools, see what's minting, and it's minting for free. Hell yeah, I hopped on, minted it, sent some money to some other wallets, minted it some more, and then I joined the Discord.
So you're looking for volume and exploits is kind of what I'm hearing.
Well, I feel like the way that I see it is that the more opportunities I put myself out there, because it really, like I said, $35 could turn into $2,000. So if I put $35 in 10 different things and one of them pops, I made all my money back and way more.
Is that usually how it works? That
Yeah.
1 out of 10 pops off?
Well, it depends. Sometimes everything pops.
Sure, right. And sometimes nothing.
Sometimes-
Sometimes everything's
Yeah,
just
like
crashing.
that
in
was
garbage.
last week. I made like 0.9 ETH
Oof.
in like 2 or 3 days, and it was over like 3 or 4 different projects that were all free, right? So I went into like 6 projects, and 4 of them just you're so happy when you're seeing Icy Tools and you see all the projects that you put money on is just all being bought the fuck out, and you're like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of people see their mentality is when they see that, they're like, oh my God, it's going to go to 1 ETH.
And that's just very rare. That's excessively rare that anything goes to 1 ETH.
Rare, and it takes a lot of effort from the community. Really, you have to have a united community. Everybody has to believe that this project is worth 1 ETH for it to be 1 ETH.
So what I'm hearing is you spend a lot of time in Discords saying, "Hey, everybody, we gotta delist and put the floor at point."
Of course.
Yeah, you spend.
You don't FUD your own bags. Especially if you're trying to sell for a premium, you pump that shit. You're like, hey, let's go. It's going to 10 ETH, boys.
And then you psych everybody out and you sell it.
And then I just want volume, and that kind of makes me a bastard. I get that.
For sure. You're pitching yourself as the biggest.
Okay, and I'm kind of like really exposing myself and being vulnerable here. Hence the mask because,
we won't come for you, yeah.
Yeah. Awkward silence.
So what I'm hearing is if you want to flip, the keys are make sure there's volume before you get in, or even minting, you want to see volume. And
yeah, there is minting volume as well. But then also everything is experience. And that's why I was willing in the beginning.
I'm going to need you to just, I know it's very complex and there's a lot of it, but if you could boil it down to like the top 2 things that you need to see, that if you don't see it, you're not touching it. What's the top 2 things?
Top 2 things. One thing is the lust of the eyes, right?
Oh, like the eye test is actually really valuable for NFT. When you see, you have to like the art?
Yeah. It's just like something's minting and there's something that could be free. If I don't like how it looks, if I feel like if somebody told me, hey, put that as your profile pic, if I feel embarrassed about it, I'm not going to mint it. Do you know what I mean? It has to be worthy enough for me to show off, because I will show it off on Twitter and other people will want it.
Okay, because if you want it, then other people who are like-minded will also want it.
Exactly.
And I use your sense of preference more than I use my own, because I know
it's just mad ADHD.
No, yeah. If I bought what I liked, I'd be broke. But if I buy what you like, I do a little bit better.
But then also there's like random things, right? Like one of the things, I sold everything of and made like I think 0.3. It was free.
That's crazy.
And it was called the finger NFT. It's just a pixelated middle finger, with attributes of different rings.
You're telling me you would put that as your profile picture?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, cool.
Because it's like a big fuck you. I mean,
that's fair. That's desirable.
Yeah. I was literally chatting up. This is what I was telling to the chat. I was like, imagine after reveal, we all send this to Putin on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just the easiest way to get people crazy about something. Is just mention.
Yeah, but then I also got a little scared because I'm a little bitch. What if Putin got really mad about that?
Oh man. But Putin can dox you.
Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, like, it was just at the time. You see, it's all at the time, right? There's 10, 20 different things minting at all times. Things buying and sold all the time. But something kind of like catches your eye, right? And the thing is, though, that NFT actually didn't even pop off for like a day. Like nobody cared.
A whole day.
And then a whole day.
That just shows how fast this
my God.
Space moves. Yeah. It's like an absolutely just unstoppable train just going. Yeah. Did you feel FUD after 12 hours of nothing happening?
I mean, people are definitely FUDding.
Oh man.
Of course. But then what can you say? You're just like, dude, it's free.
Yeah.
You
can't really
you lost $20.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo. Come on, move on. Yeah. But that's the thing. I see so many people, they spend $20 on even free stuff. Like, they're FUDding their own bags for no reason. Like, if you're really upset with
losing money because they're emotional.
If you're upset with it, take it. Share it. Tell people how awesome it is.
Yeah.
then maybe it'll become worth something instead of you flooding in the chat and everyone seeing your negative energy. Now they don't want anything to do with the project.
You're
You know?
actually, yeah. Okay, interesting. So you're actually killing your own wallet.
You're literally destroying your own wallet. And then these are the same people who will list it for 0 out of spite.
Oof.
You know? I've seen that happen so many times. And it's just like, oh man, you guys are going to keep losing money. And imagine that I made $1,000 off that.
Yeah.
And there were kids flooding and listing that for 0.
Man, that's so crazy to think that like being angry about something not succeeding as quickly as you want it to could cause you and the community to
even
lose out.
more anger, even more bitterness.
Man,
You know?
that's wild. I never thought about
Like,
that
you
way.
feel like you got wrecked and you get wrecked even more.
Right.
Because people made money and you just fudded it out.
So like faking positivity is a huge part of keeping projects successful.
Well, faking, I don't know. It's just, you don't have to fake it. You can just be realistic about it. But you just don't, it's very easy not to be a dick. Well, I think it is. For some people, yeah. For some people, yeah, it's very hard not to be a dick. They have to be a dick for everything. Even, like, I have seen projects where even when it's doing well, one of the most bizarre things was Suki. I expected that to go to like ETHs, you know, because during the time, it was a time of the anime era. Anime girls, especially those waifus.
Yep.
I mean, I get it. I love them waifus. They're cute as fuck. Killer Girlfriend went up to like, what, 3 ETH? Lives of Azuna, what, 2.7 ETH. They're all like garbage now, like 0.2.
Dang.
0.3. I hear people saying like it was a rug, technically a slow rug.
Sure.
But it was all up with the trend. Went up to like 0.3, and now it's sitting comfortably at like 0.02, basically like $50, or ETH is up right now, $80.
And do you feel that that has something to do with the community?
And that community was probably one of the most toxic communities. Okay, I don't want to say that like the team was toxic or anything. It's just like people didn't get the money that they wanted. They expected 2 ETHs, 3 ETHs, like Lives of Asuna.
They had unrealistic expectations,
Yeah,
and
because it
failing
didn't
to meet their expectations causes them to FUD, and them FUDding causes the community to look bad, which causes the price of the NFT to go down.
But the most bizarre thing is that in my opinion, I feel like the founders of Suki were great. And like even right after Mint, they bought an apartment, they bought a medium apartment on World Wide Web. They bought, land for the community. They gave away an alien friend.
Doing a lot.
Yeah, they gave away a lot of stuff.
That's not what a rug looks like.
No.
Like a rug, you don't see the devs continuing to do things to further the community.
Yeah, but then like people have this like the cup is half empty mentality because it's not where they want it. So even if they're doing good things, they're fudding it. And I'm just like sitting there like, what is going on? Like I'm chatting like,
yeah,
like guys, like they did what they were saying that they were gonna do. They're doing all of it.
Yeah. And that's having the experience of being in a project where you've seen founders not do everything.
And the thing is,
it's
like,
not
that's
just you being biased because you bought in.
Yeah.
You've bought into projects before where the founders didn't do what they promised they'd do.
Yeah, I have bought into projects that were 3 times the price and nothing, like they did absolutely nothing.
Right. So this isn't confirmation bias that I bought this project, therefore I need it. A lot of people will say that.
Yeah.
Right. And you know the difference. You've seen it both ways.
Exactly.
You've experienced it both ways. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Just to
and the thing is, like, Suki checked everything. Like the art was good, the trend was good, the founders seemed good, like active, and the artist super popular. She has 50,000 followers on Twitter by herself.
Dope. The art for that one was nutty.
It was
I loved
great, and people were fudding it.
The community single-handedly ruined
the whole project. I mean, eventually I can see it going into, what it's supposed to be worth, because essentially, it filters people out.
Yep.
People who look at it and go, oh, wow, this is a great project. Now it has a low floor price. It still has a possibility of booming up because really it's just low I can't talk. Low floor price means more opportunity for volume to attract more bigger buyers.
That makes sense.
Because if you're a whale and you want to make money, you're not buying 2 or 3. That's cute.
At least 20.
You buy 20 at least. That's your first sweep.
Yep.
And then it goes up, and then people start paper handing it again. You do another 20 sweep, and then you keep running it up. That's what the whales are looking for, because for them to sell, they also need volume. So
you need people that want the product in order to sell it.
You can't buy everything, a lot of it, and sell it if there's no volume, And I also seen like whales create artificial traffic where they're buying from themselves. But you can do that if it's cheap.
Right.
If it's at, a 0.2, 0.3 floor price, it's going to be hard to do. Because that's a lot. There's a lot of money going back and forth. The cheaper it is, the more traffic you can pick up and attract more traffic organically from other people.
More traffic per dollar, more traffic per ETH.
And that's the one thing that I feel like a lot of people who complain about floor price should understand is that same with crypto, same with stocks. Price goes down, people who really believe in the project or stock or crypto will buy in. This is how it is.
A ton of sense. Awesome.
Yeah.
Just to end us off here, let's get some alpha. Pitch just 1 or 2 projects that you really think are really hot right now. Let us know if you think it's a hold or it's a flip, and tell us a little bit about what makes it great in your mind.
Anything land, hold.
Nice.
Anything land.
Nice. Give me one NFT quick. A land that that you're investing in.
I currently bought White Sands parcel. It's a part of 36 NFT worlds, but it's kind of like the first.
NFT world is big right now.
Yeah.
That's the next big thing.
I love it.
Everybody's saying it's going to go crazy.
Yeah, and it's Minecraft based, so it's crossplay with PS5, Xbox, PC. So you can have it can attract the crowd.
That's wild. The idea
Minecraft.
that you could jump on an NFT server from
Minecraft.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
That's awesome. And it's the first kind of like luxury beach island.
That's the most accessible NFT thing I've ever heard of, that you can access it
exactly
from your PS5.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And people are sleeping on it just because like you can't access it yet, but soon you can. But once people can and see the potential of like, wow.
So you're not buying the land specifically, directly. You're buying it White Beach.
Oh, so White Sands, what they did is, as a project, they bought 36 NFT worlds, and with that partition, they're building their islands on it. So it's like kind of like their own section.
Very cool.
Of a world, and you get to buy a piece of that world.
And how big is a collection?
Only 3,000.
Oh, okay. So you buy 1/3000th of the part of the land.
And this kind of goes to the coin as well. And another thing with land is that you get coins.
Okay.
For owning land.
And they're transferring that to their holders.
Yeah, and they're splitting it as well. So all the coins that they get from owning 36 NFT Worlds lands,
they're dividing it.
They're splitting it.
The people who hold their NFT, their land.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah. So that's a cheaper way to get in. You can buy just a
partition of a partition.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
They partitioned it into something larger and then broke it down into something smaller.
But then also for reference, like there are other luxury, partitions of metaverses in like Sandbox or even Decentraland, and they're worth a lot. Just because luxury attracts celebrities.
Right, of course.
And
anything
money
that's
follows
like
celebrities.
exclusive or
exactly,
elitist.
And that's exactly what's going to be. White Sands, we're the first luxury metaverse in NFT worlds. That's kind of like how they advertise themselves. So it's gonna attract some big names, and it looks sick. I can't wait to go in it in VR.
Good stuff. All right. Well, thanks so much. That's all been really enlightening. Good advice. Good to see just a little bit inside your mind. And
This
how
was
how you
fun.
operate. Good stuff. We should do it again.
All right.
All right.